We live in a world where you can stream a 4K video from a server in Tokyo to a screen in London in milliseconds. But if you want to send the money to pay for that server across the exact same borders, you suddenly hit a wall. You're paying a $45 wire fee and waiting 3 business days for clearinghouses to manually process and approve the transaction. Multiply that friction across the global economy. Last year, JP Morgan Chase alone processed $10 trillion in payments. $10 trillion. For the privilege of moving those funds through their legacy networks, traditional banks charge anywhere from 0.5% to 3%. The traditional financial system is slow by design. The delay is the business model. And those exact profit margins are the vulnerabilities exposing these banks to massive disruption. For years, I assumed cryptocurrency was strictly a volatile retail casino, a digital ledger used for speculation, with zero utility for serious institutions. But the public data directly contradicts that. In the last 6 months, legacy heavyweights like Goldman Sachs and BlackRock have quietly launched active financial products built squarely on public blockchains. Why are the world's most powerful banks spending millions to build on the exact technology designed to render them obsolete? Wall Street is co-opting these ledgers to ensure their own survival, building a digital layer that keeps them at the center of every trade. The strategy relies on tokenization, specifically taking real-world assets like a commercial building or a government bond and representing them as programmable digital tokens on a blockchain. Once an asset is a token, it can be mathematically fractionalized. Instead of needing a $100,000 minimum to access an exclusive private credit fund, a retail investor can purchase exactly $100 worth of identical microshares. These assets trade continuously, 24 hours a day outside of traditional market hours, and instead of a rigid quarterly payout, the yield generated by the asset flows into the holder's wallet in real time. Traditional finance is tracking this closely. If decentralized protocols successfully tokenize high-value assets first, legacy institutions lose their grip on who gets to access and distribute that national debt. Wall Street's tokenization effort is a defensive land grab. They are digitizing their inventory to retain their monopoly over the world's physical wealth. This 3D chart shows the current scale of the market. In 2024, the total value of tokenized real-world assets on public blockchains crossed the $10 billion mark. 10 billion sounds massive until you zoom out and compare it to the global bond market, which sits at roughly $130 trillion. Right now, blockchain infrastructure has a penetration rate of 0.007%. If these protocols capture even 1% of that traditional market, $1.3 trillion of financial value will migrate onto the blockchain. This incoming volume is sparking a massive infrastructure war. Established networks like Ethereum and Stellar are actively competing against newer, high-throughput architectures like Sui and Aptos to host this specific financial traffic. Whichever protocol successfully scales to handle this load will operate the inescapable toll booth for global financial settlement. The shift toward faster settlement addresses a much larger problem than human banking frustration. Artificial intelligence has a hard limit in the physical economy. An autonomous AI agent cannot legally walk into a local bank branch, present a driver's license, and open a business checking account. For an AI agent to function independently, to rent its own server space, purchase data, or execute trades, it requires a native, programmable form of value that lives entirely on-chain. Knowing this requires specific action. First, separate the mechanics from the speculation. Betting on a blockchain's native token is entirely different from holding tokenized government debt to earn a steady yield. Know which one you are holding. Second, watch the regulators.